Well, violent unrest has gripped Hong Kong in recent years. China then introduced the national security law, as well as emphasizing the principle of patriots governing Hong Kong. Does it help?
I think it will work, and it has to work. It works in all other countries in the world. All countries in the world require people who form their political class, the ruling echelon, to be patriots. We hear the word patriot, patriotism, patriotic on the tips of American tongues every day, and so Hong Kong should not be an exception. What the new electoral law and the system designed by the law is basically to make sure that we do not have unpatriotic people committing unpatriotic and sometimes treasonous acts, such as running off to Washington, D.C. in America in 2019, asking the American government, the American Congress, to sanction China and Hong Kong. Now, that's not acceptable.
What are the major reasons you think behind all these protests?
Obviously, they're very sort of complex social conditions, but I think one factor that we have not looked at enough, that much of Hong Kong society is not aware of, is radicalization, which is actually and sadly a rather common phenomenon in many places in the world. Hong Kong is not immune. In 2019, we had mass radicalization by news outlets such as Apple Daily, Next Magazine, both belonging to the Next Media, spread hatred amongst young people. Hatred against our country, hatred against the Hong Kong government, and hatred against the Hong Kong establishment. And very sadly, these publications were used, and they're no longer, by some teachers as teaching materials in classrooms. I think these are the major reasons. Obviously, we also have to deal with the discontent and the frustrations amongst our young people. For example, the aspirations amongst them to own one day a roof over their head, the aspirations to do well in the careers they have chosen. One of the problems that we again face in Hong Kong is the fact that while we offer all these engineering courses and science and technology courses, because of the economic structure of Hong Kong, we can't offer them a career ladder in the field in which they're well trained.
I've spent some time walking around Hong Kong in the past few days. I've seen evidences of violence that we talked about earlier, and also signs of the city regaining its strength after it's all been through. What do you see Hong Kong's future?
Well, I feel very optimistic about the future of Hong Kong, particularly now that we have a functional and not dysfunctional legislative council. When I was chief executive, for example, when I proposed to the legislative council for them to pass changes to the government structure for us to have an innovation technology bureau, a new bureau, and a new culture bureau, motion was killed by filibustering. Even something as mundane and apolitical as the establishment of a new innovation technology bureau, a new culture bureau, became the victim. Now that the filibusters have gone, we have a functional legislative council. Government, together with the legislative council, together with other members of society, could then sort of grab these opportunities within Hong Kong and opportunities offered to us by the country across the boundary.